Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another competitive guide for Sun and Moon with me, MegaLugia. We will be covering up Pokemon stats, movesets, damage calcs, team options, and more. There is always room for improvement, so if there's anything you want to add, make sure to let me know down below. But most importantly, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. A like would be much appreciated. But without further ado, my friends, let's get into it. So like I said, today we're going to be looking at Vikavolt, which in my opinion has one of the coolest looking shinies in Gen 7, but unfortunately that awesomeness doesn't really carry over to its stats, but more into that later. So kicking off, we see that it is the bug electric type, which offensively plus defensively is great, allowing you to hit a lot of types that your single typing may miss out on. With your dual stabs, you are super effective against grass, psychic, dark, flying, and water. So a lot of coverage right there, and defensively you're weak to just fire and rock. Plus, you do have that immunity to ground type moves because of the ability to levitate, which we will cover later on. Pretty decent for Vikavolt, and so far it is looking like a pretty beast mon. And now moving on to its stats, Vikavolt has a stat total of 500, which when split up evens out into 77 HP, 70 attack, 90 defense, 145 special attack, 75 special defense, and 43 speed. So yes, that 145 special attack is looking absolutely godly, but if only it was backed up with the rest of its stats. Its HP and defenses are decent, but not high enough to be a defensive wall, as well as its speed being piss slow, so it loses the attraction that a lot of fast electric types have. But as with almost every Pokemon in Gen 7, Trick Room is your best friend. And like I mentioned before, you do have the levitate ability, so although you were neutral to ground type moves before, you are now immune, so what even is an earthquake? And now for an overview of this Pokemon's obvious news is obvious. Its special attack stats is massive, matching the attack set of Landorus Therian at 145, so it's definitely no joke. It is a bug type as well, so you will have to consider that even though you can be volt switching around, you will be taking 25% from Stealth Rocks each time you come in, so pairing this with some hazard remover is key. Also, a similar theme of Gen 7, you are very slow, which allows you to thrive in Trick Room, but invest a little in speed, and you can outspeed some non-invested faster Pokemon such as base 60s like Celesteela. As for its move pool, it has access to Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Bug Buzz, Air Slash, Energy Ball, Flash Cannon, Charge Beam, and interestingly enough, Solar Beam. As for support moves, it has moves including Light Screen, Reflect, Roost, Thunder Wave, Agility, Iron Defense, and Rain Dance. So yeah, definitely not the best options there. So your main way of using this Pokemon is most likely going to be a wall breaker. So now onto the first potential moveset. We're going to go with a full out offensive set holding the choice specs with 64 HP, max special attack, and 192 speed, rocking the moves Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Bug Buzz, and either Hidden Power Fire or Ice. Hidden Power Fire allows you to hit Magnezone and Scizor with HP Ice from mons like Garchomp and Spadef Zygarde. And 192 in speed allows you to outspeed minimally invested base 65s like Komala and Celesteela. With a choice specs and modest nature, you are absolutely nuking things, and your decent bulk will allow you to live some hits as well. Ideally, you'll be using this versus slower Pokemon or constantly going for Volt Switches to gain momentum on switch outs, but get hit with a choice specs Thunderbolt? GG, my friend. And now onto the next set. It's going to be more of a Trick Room abuser, with the EV spread being pretty much max HP, max special attack with a quiet nature, and 0 IVs and EVs in speed as well to be as slow as possible in Trick Room. Base 43 speed means you do outslow min speed Alola Marowak in Trick Room as well, so do keep that in mind. You'll be holding either the Life Orb or the leftovers with the moveset of Thunderbolt, Bug Buzz, HP Fire, or HP Ice in either Charge Beam or Roost. Unfortunately, Vikavolt doesn't get any kind of boosting offensive move or any cool combination with Z moves either, so Charge Beam is your best chance, being an electric special type move with a 70% chance to raise your special attack up by 1. However, if you don't feel like you need the boost, you can go for Roost to prolong your longevity in Trick Room. Basically, once you get this Pokemon in Trick Room, you will be able to destroy your opponents, plus having the benefit of outspeeding them for 5 turns. And max HP also allows you to live even more hits. And now onto the final set. This is going to be a bit more of a different EV spread with max speed, max special attack with either the modest or the timid nature, holding either the leftovers or the Life Orb. The moveset will be Thunderbolt, Bug Buzz, Agility, and either Charge Beam, Substitute, or even HP Fire. So ideally with this set, you won't have Pokemon left like Magnezone on your opponent's team, which is why I'm kinda iffy on the HP Fire, but it is up to your preference. But having said that, you can see this is going to take advantage of Agility, and depending on your nature choice, plus 2 speed with a modest nature means you can outspeed max speed base 118s, and Tibin means you outspeed max speed base 135s. It's something that is really down to your playstyle and the makeup of the rest of your team, perhaps choosing the Life Orb on the timid set to make up for the lost damage output, and maybe leftovers when modest to give you just a little bit more longevity. The moveset as well is flexible, with Substitute being an option if you're really feeling ballsy, since people will likely switch out into Pokemon like Mamoswine, Tapu Koko, or Tapu Bulu, and being behind a sub makes you much more of a threat. And now onto some quick damage calcs. So with the choice specs with the modest nature, a Thunderbolt OHKOs the likes of Max Speed F Celesteela after Stealth Rocks, 2-hit KOs Tapu Koko in the electric terrain, 58% minimum versus a max specially defensive Komala, it OHKOs max HP Buzzwole, and OHKOs an offensive Mega Scissor after rocks as well. And if you're holding the choice specs with a modest nature going for Bug Buzz, you do 80% minimum versus a max HP Tapu Bulu, 76% minimum versus Mega Sableye, OHKO Mamoswine, OHKO Kartana, and 83% minimum versus a max HP Delmise. And holding the Life Orb with a +1 special attack thanks to the Charge Beam boost. Bug Buzz OHKO's Tapu Bulu, 68% minimum versus Max Speed F Decidueye, OHKO's Mega Metagross, OHKO's Max Specially Defensive Assault Vest Serena as well. And when you go for agility and have a timid nature, you outspeed the likes of Crobat, Tapu Koko, and Scarf base 72s. And now onto some team options. So you're definitely going to need some hazard setters and hazard removal. Tapu Fini gives you the removal as well as the resistance to fire, whilst Garchomp gives you the rocks and resistance to fire and rock. Although Defog plus Stealth Rocks on your side isn't ideal, it really does help Vikavolt thrive. Incineroar is also another great Trick Room abuser plus Wall Breaker, as well as Necrozma, who can set up Trick Room, Thunder Wave, and being overall bulky. And lastly, another Trick Room setter in Mimikyu, who also has Priority, Swords Dance, and just because I love having Mimikyu on any team. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a competitive guide for Vikavolt. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Make sure to let me know what you thought down below, as well as any other Pokemon you want to see me cover next. And until next time, it's been your boy MegaLugia here checking out. Peace!